Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming into my presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about the analysis of internal ticketing systems for software engineers. This class is for my management of informational systems. It's my final assessment. I am Michael Lambert Jr. It's Business 244, final assessment, and today's date is September 8th. Introduction to the system. A quick overview. This presentation is going to be an analysis of the ticketing system used in software engineering and IT professionals to manage support requests and track issue resolution. The purpose of this presentation is to understand the system components and evaluate its effectiveness and propose improvements. Hardware used in the system. Hosting hardware. This is the hardware that is used to host, such as the servers. The ticketing system is hosted on a cloud-based server such as AWS, Azure, or quite a few others as well, which provide scalable and reliable infrastructures. These are also known as data centers that host the software. AWS and Azure is more cloud-based software that are on the physical data servers. And that brings me to our next point, the data centers. Data is stored in secure data centers with redundancy and backup measures. So, redundancy, let's say we have a data center on the West Coast in California, but then we also have one on the East Coast as well as one in the UK. So, let's say an earthquake takes out the East Coast. Okay, that whole data center collapses. Well, redundancy and the backup measure portions, we got backups out in the UK and on the West Coast. So your data theoretically should never be lost. User access hardware. Engaging the audience. Workstations. Users access the ticketing system through their desktop and laptops. Sometimes also available on mobile devices. And there's a little picture of a ticketing system. Next up, overcoming nervousness, confidence building strategies. Engaging the audience. Make contact with your audience to create a sense of intimacy and involvement. Weave relatable stories into your presentation using narratives that make your message more memorable. And encourage questions and provide thoughtful responses to engage audience participation. And lastly, use live polls and or surveys to gather audience opinions, and this will also promote engagement, making sure the audience feels involved and, well, is involved as well. Software used in the system. Types of software. We got the ticketing system. Examples of this could include the Jira Service Management System, Zendesk, and Salesforce. Salesforce is more of a CRM, though. Operating systems. Most servers, if not all, is Windows servers or Linux. Then you kind of got Unix in there, but that's not very prominent. And then you got middleware, which includes the API gateways and integration tools. The middleware is what connects and communicates with the servers and the client. It's the middleman, the middleware. And on the right, we got a image of a ticketing system, the Jira software platform. User interaction. Interface. Users interact with the system through a web-based dashboard. Features include ticket creation, tracking, and resolution. The purpose of the software. Why do we use it? Functionality. The software streamlines the process of managing support requests, prioritizes tickets, and it tracks issue resolution. So it will always pop up, show like, okay, this issue is here, prioritizes to see what the issue may be. Some is more important than others, and it also tracks when the issue is completed, resolved, and fixed. Benefits of the software: it improves response time and accountability. So, one, with the software, we know it's there, and also we know it's getting fixed. Databases used in the system. On the right, we got a schema. This is like A customer database or a customer table, order table, staffs table, stores table, order items table, and how they relate and connect to each other. Database types, we've got two types. Relational databases, examples of this include MySQL or PostgreSQL. And we also got SQL SQL databases. Examples include MongoDB for flexible data storage, which does not use SQL or SQL. Data and integration. Data stored tickets, user information, and resolution history. All of this is stored within the ticketing system. Interactions. The software queries the database for ticket details, updates the records, as well as manages user authentication. So let's say Jim over in finance, he's having an issue opening Safari. Everything else seems to work. So, well, in that case, he may have, if it's web-based, he may have to log into a different computer to submit his ticket. But it will log in, Jim, and maybe an ID of the computer or the workstation, entering all his information. So it's all attached to him as a customer. And then, depending, it may get assigned to Joe over in IT, and he's going to come through and manage the software, or manage the ticket, figure out what's the issue with him opening Safari or Chrome, whatever issue it may be. But that's the idea of user authentication. Security and privacy concerns. Security features. Authentication. These days we got multi-factor authentication for secure access. MFA, multi-factor authentication, can mean a lot of things. In many cases, we got the text-based one where, or even email-based, we'll get a text or email of a code, and then we can log into the software. Another one, we can do facial recognition, fingerprints, or even an authentication app as well. Google, Microsoft, and a few others have those. We can also do encryption. Data encryption at rest and in transit. So these are security features. Encryption uses an algorithm to disguise all the data going through so it's not readable by the human eye. And these days, with quantum, it's kind of iffy. But these days, it is pretty hard to crack a lot of the encryption. Not all of them. Nothing's ever 100% secure, unfortunately. And access controls. Role-based access controls for user permissions. So there's levels. You can have an administrator. You can have a user. So these are the access controls. What do they have access to? You don't want a client to have full access of the administrator privileges and just overrun Jira or whatever ticketing system we are using. Privacy concerns. Regulatory compliance adheres to the regulations like GDPR for data protection. Risk assessment. Regular security audits and vulnerability assessments. It's very important to constantly consider the risk and audit our system to make sure this data cannot be accessed by anyone that shouldn't be accessing it. Purposes of the system. Business problem it solves. Primary problem solved. The problem. Inefficient management of support requests leading to delays and poor customer satisfaction. The solution. The ticketing system centralizes support requests and tracks issue resolution. Additional problem solved. Here's another problem. Lack of visibility into ticket status and progress. The solution here is to provide real-time updates and reporting capabilities to make sure so the client doesn't have to call like, hey, did you get this? Is it acknowledged? Are you working on it? Have that implemented into the ticketing system. And pre-system solutions, such as previous methods, manual tracking via spreadsheets or email. And the challenges, errors, data loss, and lack of centralized information. So before a ticketing system, we'd enter it, just type it up like a Word document in an email, or we'd use an Excel sheet to keep track of everything. And if we went older than that, pen and paper possibly. That may be pretty old though. So the benefits of the ticketing system, it automatically tracks all this, puts the data into the databases, yada yada. So it's incredibly helpful for all parties involved, the IT software engineer professionals as well as the clients needing help. And I kind of touched on this. System benefits, improved efficiency. This creates faster response times and better issue resolution. Thus, tickets won't get lost in the mix. Enhanced reporting, detailed analytics, and performance metrics. So with the reporting, the analytics and performance metrics, we'd be able to look in response times, how long it takes, and get a good idea if someone needs a new Ethernet cable ran to the switch closet because it went down. Due to the metrics and the analytics, we can decide, okay, that may take 3 hours or 4 hours or 1 hour, depending. So by having that, we can prioritize and schedule accordingly. And improvements to the system. Some of the current shortcomings, the limitations, we got limited integration with other tools, and this can create occasional performance issues. It would be nice to have it built in almost at a system level so you can easily send logs or whatnot to help get it figured out. And user feedback. Kind of self explanatory. Let the user be able to give some feedback. And some more suggested improvements. Integrated with the project management and communication tools. And optimize database queries and improve system scalability. Impact of the improvements: we'll get efficiency gains, reduced resolution times, and better resource allocation. This will create cost savings, lower operational costs, and improved ROI. And thank you. My name is Michael Lambert Jr. This is for my Business 244 Management of Informational Systems class. And some of the references I used today: International Organization of Standardization, the Product Plan, Zendesk. Thank you.